Hi, I'm Brianna Simmons and welcome to Inside SC State. South Carolina State University recently commemorated one of the nation's first and most horrific tragedies of the Civil Rights Movement, the Orangeburg Massacre, which occurred on our campus February 8, 1968. To honor the legacy, Reverend Joseph Darby, presiding elder of the Beaufort District of the AME Church, served as a keynote speaker for this event. Reverend Darby is a sought-after political commentator who has appeared on local, national, and international media outlets.
Well, what those students who died and those students who were injured here in 1968 did was to stand against a system that was unjust, a system that was bigoted, and a system that was not fair. You don't have to look far across South Carolina still to find unjustness, unfairness, and bigotry. It's more lightly nuanced now than it used to be, but it's still there.
I think that when I look back at the Orangeburg tragedy on that night, February 8, 1968, I can remember vividly everything that transpired on that particular night. And I could remember that not only was I in a pain from the gunshot, but it was pain from the kind of injustice that was perpetuated upon unarmed students on the campus of South Carolina State College at that time, now South Carolina State University.
The program's theme, Social Change Inspires Freedom, sought to empower attendees to courageously stand up against some of the world's greatest injustices to help make changes for our world locally and globally. Up next, how SC State is becoming a popular stop on the Democratic presidential campaign trail. Stay tuned for your latest celebrity news and gossip. Recently, South Carolina State has become a part of the Democratic Party's HBCU initiative to encourage college students to vote. Two of the campus visitors were Hillary Clinton supporter Angela Bassett and Cornel West, who was a Bernie Sanders supporter. Both are encouraging students to cast their vote and let their voice be heard.
Well, this is a historic event because we're beginning this historic campaign for presidency at the historic South Carolina State University. The fact that black colleges, black institutions, over 100 of them have played such a fundamental role, and oftentimes they are overlooked when it comes to campaigning. And the very fact that so many brilliant folk come through, not just South Carolina State, but Spelman and Howard and Tougaloo, and we can go on and on and on, Tuskegee and so on. And so it was a beautiful thing. I'm glad that my dear brother Marcus came up with the idea, that he really did. Marcus Farrell, he came up with the idea and executed it. And we had a magnificent time. You could feel the spirit in that, couldn't you? Yes, indeed, indeed.
Well, the event tonight was very informative, being a person who just got their voter's registration, being registered to vote. So this will be the actually first year that I'm able to vote. And after doing my own research and using my discernment upon all the politicians, I think was very, very eye-opening as to what Mr. said today. I believe it's very informative because being an HBCU, sometimes you get overlooked by mainstream universities like PWIs. So I think it was very informative for students to come out and listen to what was being said. I mean, after doing research on it, I was just elated to just be in the audience to hear him speak.
I think that she has shown, by, over the course of her entire career, who she cares about, what's important to her, whether it's, early childhood education, making sure that our children are, education is the key to success in this country, to opening any door for, any possibility of success. It just is, no ifs, and buts, sugarcoat, or whatever. And one of the first jobs that she had out of law school was here with the Children's Defense Fund here in South Carolina, and the work that she was able to on the groundwork to do, whether it was laws and legislature to get young people who are incarcerated within the population of more experienced long-term criminals, and what was happening and that kind of the atrocities happening in that situation, just going to all the prisons, around this state and separating that population of young people from older.
I'm Brianna Simmons, and thank you for tuning in to Inside SC State. And remember, here at SC State University, we're transforming lives and inspiring greatness.